name is Ginger Burnham. I've been a hairstylist for 9 years, working at a Redken salon for the past year. I've always been passionate about hair since I was a young girl, from Barbie haircuts to horrible color experiments in the bathroom. My goal is to become a Redken educator so I can inspire others to pursue their creativity in our industry just as I do. Today I'm going to show you a technique that is going to create movement in the hair by using 2 different applications. On our first application, we're going to have zone 1 being our darker shade of 4V and 10 volume, leaving about an inch in between. You will go from zone 2 and 3, you'll apply our lighter color, which is going to be 7RR and 5RR with 10 volume. And you will take our blur brush and you'll blur the colors together, which I will show you later. In section 2, you will do your standard application of just pulling the hair from scalp to ends using our darker shade of 4V and 10 volume. We're going to start at the right corner back of the head, taking diagonal back sections, rotating around the scalp, and you will take your sections by the middle of the left eye, taking a horseshoe back, and you will also come to a point at the center of the right eye. All right, let's get started. So starting at the middle of the left eye, you will section, bringing it back. I'm going to the center of the right eye and creating a horseshoe coming around. Now in your main section, you're going to put it in 4 quadrants, sectioning it in the middle to create 2 halves, and then taking each section and splitting them into 2s. Taking your clips, you'll put them off to the side. And continuing doing the same in the front. Starting at the right center back, you're going to take your first section getting the other hair out of the way. Take your foil, starting with your darker shade, which is 4V, 10 volume in shades cream. You're going to take it, starting at the scalp, pulling it down, then you take your second shade, which is our 7RR and 5RR mixed together with 10 volume. Leaving about an inch in between, you'll start pulling it all the way down to the ends. You want to make sure you keep your brush flat when you're applying color, so you help pull the color through the ends as opposed to wiping it off. If you use the side of the brush, it can do that. Then you take your blur brush and blur the colors together. It's as simple as that. Then you take a foil and lay it right on top, pulling it down, and now you'll take your second section. You will use just your darker color this time, which is the 4B and 10 volume. Starting at the scalp, pulling it all the way through the ends. Remembering also to keep your brush flat, and all the way down. Don't go to blow it up. Now you repeat step 1. Shade, about an inch in between, pulling it through the ends. Taking your blur brush, mixing the colors together. Since you're mixing the same 2 colors, you don't have to clean your brush off every time because you're just blurring them together. Lay the blur on top. Taking your next section. This is also a technique you can switch up and do other things that you want with it. You can switch the 2 colors. You can do any shades. The amazing thing about the blur technique is it does soft blending, so you never have a hard line. Now you will repeat step 1. When you're done with this section, going to put a slight bend at the corners just so you keep them out of the way of your other sections. Now you're going to go to your second quadrant. Starting at the left corner back, taking the diagonal back section, pulling the other hair out of the way. You will repeat the steps you did in your first quadrant. Taking your foil, starting with our first application, which was applying to just zone 1. And then leaving an inch gap in between, pulling it down towards the end. Taking your blur brush and blurring the 2 shades together. Taking the foil, laying it on top. And you go into your second. You want your sections to be a little bit thicker than just a normal highlight application because you want to be able to see the technique of blur. If your section is too thin, you're really not going to be able to get that image that you're looking for. On the second one, standard applications, pull from scalp to ends, making sure you get good coverage throughout. Before we started this application today, we shampooed her hair. We started actually with a pre-art, left it on the hair for 5 minutes We really want to even out the porosity. She's had previously highlighted hair, so we really wanted to make sure that we could get the best of coverage as we cut. We rinse it out with hair cleansing cream, and then we apply a extreme chemistry shot. We needed to really put the protein back in there and also balance out her porosity as well with the extreme. And the protein actually kind of puts a little bit of bondage on the hair to help the color stick a little better for us. Now we're going into our third section. Make sure you let your guest know that you will be taking hair putting in her face. Let her be aware of that. Section back. Take your first foil. Lay it down. Applying from the scalp, pulling it through. As soon as you get that first one there, pick up the foil. Again, be cautious of your guests. Taking your second shade. Laying it down. Taking your blur brush, blending the two together. And laying your foil on top. Taking your second section, laying it down, and back, and doing your second application. Foil. And then repeating back to step one. Taking your blur brush, blending the shades together. It doesn't matter with the blur brush if you swirl, you go up and down, you go crisscross. As long as you just get a thorough blend between the two. You don't want to go any more of a space in between the two colors, more than an inch to maybe even about an inch and a half. If you do, you're just going to hollow out that area and you're not going to actually get the coverage that you're looking for. Now I'm repeating back to step two. Pulling the color, step to ends. Moving on. Doing step 2. So it rolls away from her face. You don't want to put too much tension on the foils. If you put a crease, you can cause the color to slip in that area, giving you a negative spot. Now we are going to rotate it around to our last quadrant. Starting in the same technique, taking the diagonal back section. And foil, being cautious of her face. Starting with our first application. Try to get all of the fun little hairs in the front. Blur brush. And blending the shades together. And foil. Notice too, I'm using longer foils. If you use shorter foils, then you would have to roll the hair up, which would cause the colors to bleed together when we're doing the blur technique. So you really make sure you have long foils so you can keep the two colors separated and laying flat. You're going to get better coverage, and it's also easier for application for you. And repeating back to our first technique. The cool thing about the blur technique too, you could even have the lighter color just in this middle section, then go back with your dark on the ends and blur those two together. Creates a different look. Still fun. Maybe almost like a splashlight technique. And you repeat back to step 2. process for 20 minutes, no heat. And then we're going to shampoo her with the Color Magnetics. And then we're going to do another chemistry treatment on her using the Color Extend and the Extreme as well. Alright. This is our finished product. As you can see, it's very subtle. We just get a slight movement of the red tones throughout the ends. Not being too dramatic, so for the businesswoman who wants some fun colors, this will be perfect for her. So it's not going to be too like off the wall, unprofessional. She can still keep those nice fun tones in there. How we blow dried her hair today is we prepped it with our pillow proof primer, which is going to protect the hair up to 450 degrees, also balancing out the porosity, which is going to help with our blow dry time. We put Outshine through the ends to help with the frizz, and she wanted a little bit of volume, but just good, soft, smooth control through the ends. So we did guts, but we applied it from scalp to ends as opposed to just at the base. And we wrap brushed it, and then we used a large Sanvia round brush to give us a little bit of control and kind of give us a little bit more extra lift in there. And make sure when you're using a round brush, don't ever go larger than your section, make it larger than your actual brush that you're using, or you're not going to get the effect that you're going for. For her take-home products, I'm going to be sending her home with the Color Extend Magnetics, the shampoo and the conditioner, also the Deep Attractions conditioning treatment to use once a week, just so we can keep that moisture in her hair, so we can help with the longevity of the color. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I inspired you to try new techniques. Thank you.